SPMP サイドストーリークンネチプ
Previous overview. In order to consult with him about her journey to find her sister, Kunnecup went to Susa's house. And although Susa agreed, she was stopped by him because it was going to be dark on the way home, so she decided to return to PoloKotan the next day. The next day, when I woke up, Susa was still asleep, and when I was about to leave the house quietly so as not to wake him, I heard Susa's voice from behind saying, "Don't worry about your parents," and when I turned around, Susa was lying down with his eyes closed. I was delighted by Susa's kindness, so I ran up to him, hugged him, thanked him, bowed to him while he was still lying down, and left the house with a refreshing feeling and headed for PoloKotan. On the way back, the man who told me the location of Susa's house yesterday accompanied me to PoloKotan. The man told me that he wanted me to stop by Suji once before leaving, and then walked away in the direction of Suji. When I got home, everyone was inside, waiting for me to come home. I immediately told my family that I was going to find my sister, and they all smiled and nodded. However, my family told me to prepare well because it was going to be a long trip, so I prepared food and a change of clothes for the time being, but the truth is that I am not the only one going on the trip, there are two people who will go with me. They were watching my sister when she was being taunted in front of the observation tower, and they were moved by the sight of my sister silencing the adults, and they wanted to help her in some way. So they recently heard from someone that I was going on a trip to find my sister, and they thought it would be dangerous for me to go on a trip alone, so they came forward to go with me and help. Their names are Mamalera and Chiladalera. Lira means wind, and all the men in the family have Lira in their names. The two are brothers, and although their physique is inferior to Yukakima, they are proud of their physical strength and can be relied on. They were preparing for the trip, and they had gone to PoloKotan a few times to find out the directions over the mountains, so after talking to my family, I went to talk to them. They told me that they were ready and that we could go at any time, so we decided to leave the next day. After meeting with them, I went to the beach to meet Tanu. As soon as I reached the shore, Tan showed up to me, and when I told him about my journey, he told me that the seas were connected and that we would see each other again. Tanu's words gave me a sense of security, and I felt that we would soon meet again. And after Tanu told me, "If you are in trouble, call my name as usual," he would normally see me off, but that day he showed his dorsal fin and swam away. I watched Tanu's dorsal fin until it was out of sight, then waved to the sea before returning to PoloKotan. On the way back, I didn't feel lonely. Maybe it's because I heard Tanu's words. By the time I arrived at PoloKotan it was getting dark, and as I stood in front of the house, I could smell the good smell from inside. When I entered the house, there were a lot of dishes lined up, and Auna noticed me and ran up to me. When I hugged Auna, he gave me his biggest smile and we had dinner with the whole family that night. I won't be able to see Auna for a while, so I spent the night hugging my child all the time. The next morning, the three of us departed from PoloKotan with everyone watching over us. Auna, who didn't know anything, was looking at me curiously while being embraced by my mother. When I looked at my child's face, tears came to my eyes, and I didn't want my child to see my tears, so I immediately turned my back and left PoloKotan without saying goodbye. I couldn't stop crying for a while after I left PoloKotan. It's still lonely to be away from my child. But it's my decision, so I'll see it through to the end. My sister, please wait for me. After that, we stopped at Suji as told by an acquaintance in Susa. Then, as if waiting for us to come, a man ran up to us as soon as we arrived. Today's story ends. The story is updated every Saturday. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.